Hi everyone. Here we are, end of week 5, beginning week 6. So thank you to Faith and Rebecca for a very good week this week. We did lots of interesting things. I think the activity of trying out all the different voice tools was great, and here are the kind of comments that people had and the responses. It's always good to do these things kind of actually, and because it gives people just it's a more real sense of what's going on. Great summaries too, and for both the discussion and for the infographic. And what I've done is actually not just there, but earlier too. I found there were other articles that people had put in. I think it was some in here. No, it wasn't in here. I think it was in here. No, January. Yes, that's it. There were a couple of articles here, another one by Faith and another one by Rebecca, and I've gone and added those to here, to this group repository for useful resources. Please do use this, because if the resources get embedded in the particular discussion for the week, we sometimes lose them, and there's such great stuff that you guys are finding and sharing with one another, and it's really a shame to use it. That's what we do in a community of practice, right? We build on each other's knowledge and resources and the great strengths that everyone in the class brings in different kinds of ways, and together we all benefit from those, from those ideas. So feel free to add them here. I actually did add those ones this week, and what I was going to do is actually show you, because I wasn't sure if everybody knew, you can do attachments two ways. You can just attach them to the note, which is the kind of easier way. But what I was going to show you is in relation to this week, this week, I was going to show you how to do, I realized that I hadn't made a link of this, so I was going to go through the process for you and show you what to do. So if I go here, no, first I'm going to quit editing, and I have an article on my desktop that I'm going to upload. And so if I go to under here and I find resources here, and I go here up to upload file, I'll put it in readings, and I'm going to go upload file. You can put it anywhere. It doesn't have to be in a particular folder. You can choose the file, fairly straightforwardly, and in my case I put it on, I hope I left it on the desktop, and I think it's this one, and I'm going to choose it, and it'll be uploaded, and here it is. Now if I copy that link, I can then go I'm just getting that out of the way, back to here, to the note that I want to add the link to, and put it, I'm going to use this here as the linking text. Go to the little link icon and paste the URL in there. Boom. And there I have linked that. So this is for next week's, this current week's, the one about teaching. So now that's a live link, which I had meant to do before, but I hadn't. So I thought I might as well use this to show you that you can do that within any note as well. So you can have it attached to the note, but you can also have it embedded as a link. And that way, you can make connections to that from all over the database. So I just wanted to show you that other way, because I know that people have figured out how to just add a link directly to the note, and this is the other way to do it. And that way it's part of the Pepper, in the Pepper database too, which is also handy. Okay, so I think just going back to the week we just finished in synchronous and asynchronous discussions and tools rather. You found also some wonderful tools, and that was good. And I think there were some important issues that were raised. And I guess, again, we see that it's never a simple kind of solution. There aren't kind of simple directives like use this for this and that for that, because nothing's ever fully clear. And in part it's because, it depends on your pedagogical intentions, your particular learners' needs, their age, their backgrounds, what you're doing. But both of these contexts, both synchronous and asynchronous, even though their meanings are stretching a little bit, because those kind of ideas overlap in a way because of the change in technologies, in a way that they didn't before. they do provide, each provide certain affordances, and they work very well together, you know. So the immediacy and community and communication of synchronous tools, and the reflective, participatory opportunities of reflective and more slow asynchronous contexts like we're working in here. I think for language learning, I think that at some point it's really clear you have to have kind of synchronous oral communication. I mean, that's such a huge part of language learning. And in fact, I think historically it was one of the issues with a lot of language teaching. And when I talk to students from other countries who, for instance, one of my doctoral students, Kyungmi, taught English in Korea a lot. And one of the problems that she said and found with how this was treated in Korea, with, you know, how language learning, and it was English language learning, was that it was all academic, and it was all written, and it was all kind of grammar and writing, but there was no oral component. So people didn't develop oral language skills, which is an enormous communication piece. So I think that these tools can help, facilitate those kinds of experiences for our students. So thank you again to Faith and Rebecca. That was a very, very good week. Lots of great discussion. People are still adding things. Every time I go back, there's more notes in here. So I think that was an important week. And now we're going to move into this current week in teaching online. And it's not teaching, it's really teaching using technology. I shouldn't really have called it online. It was just a short form, but I didn't mean it as teaching online courses only, but integrating technology into teaching in these language and literacies contexts. So we'll think about it. The current article focuses very much on the language context. And this Austin article from 2010 that I put the link to really looks at this in a kind of broader context, sort of how teachers understand this experience of using collaborative online tools. And then we're back to language again with the Arnold and Ducati article. So this is for teacher educators, pre-service teachers, future foreign language teachers, and what do they do in an online environment? Because I thought that gave us a slightly different perspective. I've also added a couple of links to Teacher COPS, Communities of Practice. This one is for Information Literacy Online Teaching, which is a UK group, and also to Tapped In, which has been going for many years. And it's not just about, it's a kind of international community of education professionals, so it's a broader kind of COP, but than just to do with language or literacy learning, but there are a lot of resources related to both of those things in there. And incidentally, while I'm talking about that, the other thing in this group, did I put it in here in the end? Oh yes, I put some, Jennifer had asked about some suggestion for COPs of writing blogs for language teachers. So I talked to one of my doctoral students, Chris Harwood, who kindly made some suggestions here for these kinds of, these are different kinds of blogs and COPs for language learners. So feel free to look at that if you're thinking about an online community of practice that's related to your own professional context that you might be interested in using. So Maria, Lena, and Vicky are moderating this week on teaching online. And so I look forward to our discussions for this week. Now, and just to sort of mention this, because the next time I do a video will be after Family Day. So next week is, at the end of this week, the next Monday is Family Day. So for this, there we are, February the 16th. So the Learning in Online and Technology Enhanced Context Week will start on the Tuesday, but I'll still work to get everything kind of in place for the Monday. But, it is a holiday, and I think people should have it. So we'll have a slightly attenuated week, but I don't think that will be a huge problem. And thank you for people who are already starting to respond here. I put a note in about last week about that everybody was only writing on the weekends, and I was just getting a bit concerned about that because, sometimes I'm not available all weekend, and so I miss, it's hard to keep up if everybody just writes on the weekends. But so a little spreading out is okay, and it's okay to go back, as we talked about in earlier weeks. If there are things you want to kind of revisit later, I can keep up with that. It's just when everything comes all at once, within a sort of day or two, it becomes quite hard to manage. But apart from that, I think everything's going well, and I hope you are enjoying things. And let me know again if you have questions about your final assignments, or if there's anything you'd like me to read or give you feedback on. I'm happy to do that. I had a chat with one person by phone this week, so I can do Skype, I can talk online, I can do it by messaging. Whatever you need, let me know. Okay, and it's a lovely sunny day, and I hope you have a great week, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, take care.